Actually, this weekend we did have a fantastic engagement. It was actually a 4-day engagement with the Dodge Poetry Fest. The Dodge Poetry Fest actually hosts a number of people, actually thousands of people, I should say, over the a 4-day period where people fly in from all around the United States, around the world, to engage in poetry, listening to the spoken word. Um, Going to different workshops, and we were lucky to be able to be in partnership with the Clean Water Fund to make it a rethinking disposable. It was that was the initiative, and where we had it to be a zero waste event or venue. So yes, we had a team of folks that were with us, and shout out to all of them. They were so hardworking, so dedicated, just a pleasure to work with. And you know who you are, and we love you dearly and really appreciate your hard work in making this initiative successful. I wanted to also definitely give a big shout out to EJ coordinator, or actually environmental justice coordinator, Terrence Bankston, working alongside with him, learned a lot of lessons. And of course, it was a pleasure to work with him, as well as all the team that we got on board, new team, hopefully new team members that we've got to meet that were a part of the Green Team. I would love to be able to name them all, but I can't right now because we're going to go ahead and get our show started. But also definitely wanted to acknowledge Amy Goldsmith, who she is just the executive director of the Clean Water Action. And this is actually her baby, and her dream is to make venues across the states, across the world, to be zero waste venues, and to really think closely and hard about how we are really affecting our world with pollutants, and really thinking and taking into action just distributing our garbage, right, in a responsible way, in a green manner. So Amy was in the back. She was sorting and sifting, and I know that she was able to engage with a lot of our Green Team members and leaders, and they were so thankful, and that she was so down to earth and just definitely shared a lot of her wisdom. And of course, we are with her in taking on that dream of having venues to be zero waste. So NJ Pack, we're coming for you. We want to know if you would really make this, something that's important to you. Like, just show us that you want to see a better world for tomorrow in our future. But we're gonna go ahead and move ahead with Victoria. And I wanted to tonight we're gonna talk about food storage. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring her on screen. Hello, Victoria.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be back with everyone all over again. I wonder if you guys missed me.
Oh, we did. We definitely did.
That makes me so happy. I'm glad to be back with you. Unfortunately, this is our last Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetable class. Think about it. We've been together for 13 weeks. To me, that's crazy to think.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's been quite a ride, right? But it was like
Yes.
we're all family. So
Exactly. But welcome to our 13th lesson. We'll be talking about food, storing fruits and vegetables. So before we get started, we always like to share our Injustice for All poster, which states that being a part of the USDA, we do not discriminate based on age, race, sex, national origin, religious creed, anything else along those lines. We do not discriminate. Our agenda for today is we'll go through our little welcome, our traditional icebreaker. We'll go through our introduction to our lesson. We always have that little activity for you guys. I'll share a recipe. We'll have some time for any questions if you guys have any. And as always, we do have that brief survey. So our survey did change. We did just relaunch our fiscal year at the start of this month. So now we're back up and running. We're asking different questions now in that survey. So please take that opportunity at the end to complete it. But for today, we'll be talking lots about fruits and vegetables and the benefits of storing them and how to properly store them to get the best use out of them. And as always, our Just Say Yes is an interactive workshop designed to help you eat healthy even in these uncertain times. JSY is a SNAP-Ed program that aims to support healthy living through the promotion of increased fruits and vegetables. For more information on the JSY curriculum, please visit jsyfruitveggies.org. There's lots of great recipes on there and lots of tips and tricks. And if you need help accessing food nearest you, please visit our website at cfbnj.org/findfood. We're always here to help. So again, welcome. Very excited. And today's icebreaker is going to be along the lines of our fruits and vegetables as always. And again, it's an interactive workshop. Please feel free to throw out those comments on Facebook, on Zoom, whichever social media platform you might be on in our little cyber world. Please feel free to join in the conversation at any time. But my two questions for everyone is, can you name some of the benefits of properly storing fruits and vegetables? And what fruits and vegetables are you wondering about how to store properly?
Well, I know one of the benefits is you won't be wasting your money, obviously, right?
That's one of the biggest benefits. A little less food waste, a little more money in your pocket is how I like to look at it. That is one of the key benefits. I'm taking a look at like my little food bank note card that we have. I just want to see if there's anything on food waste in here.
I mean, like, just I would say just for the just who wants to be wasteful now? Now that you just mentioned waste. It's just, it's like hi, Cardona Aguilera says overspending on what you don't need.
Sometimes we get a little too overly excited when we're grocery shopping. I know I'm a biggest culprit of it. I get really excited when I see some fruits or vegetables, seeing that they're on sale and in season. I'll definitely pick them up, and then it's the excitement of seeing them, and I forget that they're in the refrigerator sometimes and forget to eat them, or like if they're out on my counter. I know I bring it up all the time. Mangoes are one of my favorite fruit. They're on sale currently at ShopRite again. I did purchase a few, and I looked at them today, and I'm like, I really got to peel these before like they go overly ripe and like use them, because it's going to be a while before I see mangoes on sale again.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because the season is winding down, right now. So it's like take advantage of those last summer fruits that you can get your hands on.
Especially strawberries. If you see them, try to pick them up. Try to enjoy them while they're fresh and on sale.
And I think that, seeing those strawberries, they've been coming through, honestly, like all year round. But man, they go furry like really fast. I hate that. Like, it makes me crazy. If there's one little one that's in there that's like bad. So I started getting to the habit of just like really like combing through, like not just putting them straight in the refrigerator, but comb through them a little bit to make sure there's not one in there in the bottom somewheres or in the corner that's, kind of maybe rotting a little bit. Yeah, because that's just gonna expedite the process.
And I see Cordona's comment. She wastes a lot of food that she can eat or freeze. Like I mentioned the last time, we're definitely going to touch on tips and tricks on how to freeze a lot of different fruits and vegetables. So stay tuned. I hope you guys learned something new today. But keep those comments coming, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, waste a lot. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like whenever I teach this lesson, some of the fruits and vegetables that I always find myself storing improperly is like my leafy greens. So I'm excited for you guys to hear about how to store those a little better, especially our
Mhm.
herbs. I always manage to do it not the proper way, but like I got to keep in my mind I need to reassess and reevaluate how I store everything.
Yeah, I kind of got berated by my daughter because the other day she was like, "Why do you keep on buying these basil plants? You just let them die." I'm sorry. I'm like the plant killer, the herb killer. Yeah.
I'm the same way. Actually, I just started growing some mint and lavender. I'm
Mm,
successful. I've been enjoying some mint. I'm just waiting for that lavender to grow a little further. But
interesting.
it's honestly fun to have your own little garden.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks lately. About like growing your own herbs and stuff like that for medicinal purposes,
Mhm.
obviously. So of course, food and fruits and herbs, they do have their benefits, so when it comes to our health. So it's great to hear that you're growing your herbs at home, and
Yes.
yeah, getting a
Always
jump
trying
start
something
on that.
new.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a lot of space for that. So I don't
Mhm.
know. Like I would have to figure that part out. But I know that there are a lot of raised bed
Like little
gardens that are
windowsill gardens that you can
yeah.
do too.
Yeah.
They're fun,
Yeah.
and it's fun to teach like children if you have young children at home, like how to plant seeds, how they
Mhm.
grow. There's a lot of great resources out there, to even school gardens on top of that as well. They're a great resource in the community. Majority of the time, they'll donate them to a soup kitchen or a food bank
Mhm.
that's around them, so the products don't go to waste and little critters don't wind up eating them.
Right. Yeah. And shout out to Miss Elise, because I know that she's been out there weekly across the street from West Esson Park giving out fruits and vegetables as well.
Shout out to you,
So
Miss Elise.
um yes, you know what? Cardona Aguilera, I grew my own cilantro this summer too. I love
Congrats.
cilantro. Love it.
I'm the exact the same. I live with someone currently who thinks cilantro tastes like soap. So it's again it's that genetic factor. We talked about it before. Hey Gabrielle.
Mm.
It's that genetic factor. So actually be mindful. It's just a gene pool that people have that causes them to think that. But for myself, I love cilantro. I love me some cilantro lime
Mhm.
rice.
Yeah, cilantro and everything. Everything.
Yes.
Hi, Gabrielle. Oh, yes. So she just said, I find strawberries to last longer in glass jars. Never knew that.
Fun fact, a lot of our fruits and vegetables do last longer in glass containers, to keep that in
Mm,
mind.
okay.
They're a bit
That's
more on the pricey side, but like mason jars and I know Rubbermaid makes a glass container as well. They're great options. They
mhm,
typically are sold in bulk as well, so you can get a little bit more bang for your buck.
right.
If you are looking to make that switch, just be mindful with children. We have to be extra careful.
Yes. Yeah. Handling the glass, right?
Mhm.
Oh, see, yeah, see, we're all learning something. I didn't know that about the glass jars.
Mhm.
I have some like I have like the Pyrex dishes. I might be able to the
Yeah,
glass ones.
use them. They're a great
Yeah.
resource to have. And
You
sometimes they make your kitchen look pretty too because you're able to see right through them.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, Cardona Aguilera. I know she loves that. Yeah, she has all of her her rice and her pastas organized in the clear jars, and
It makes everything look so pretty, and when it's
it
labeled, I'm the same
does.
way.
See, she said, "I do." Mm-hmm.
Cardona, you're not the only one. And again, just you store everything. Just again to keep in mind when you're cleaning out your pantries and your refrigerator, move all the things that you bought beforehand up to the front. Try to use those first. Try to eliminate that food waste. And just even having clear products allows for you to see what you do have as well.
Yeah. So Cardona Aguilera and Gabrielle, I am going to ask if you could just hit the share button and share this stream to your page, and of course like it and love us. Okay, if you're listening, so that we can definitely get this information out to more folks. Okay, so okay, what fruits and vegetables are you wondering about storing properly? Hmm. Um, yeah, my main thing was the strawberries, definitely, because I'm forever throwing them out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how about, well, cabbage usually lasts a pretty long time. I'm okay with that. How about your what if you wanted to, like, is there any way to kind of like slow your bananas down from ripening?
Yes, actually, there's a few different methods. One that I like to do is I don't remove the bananas or separate them. The next thing that you could do is you could take a little
Hmm.
saran wrap or aluminum foil and wrap it around the stem of all of them together. It'll prevent I can't say
Oxidization.
yes, it's one of those words.
Yeah. Oxidize.
That word.
Yeah.
It'll prevent it from going brown a little quicker.
Okay.
And then the other thing that you could do is try to suspend it in the air. So, little
Oh,
banana hook. It'll
yeah.
so it doesn't brown in one little area. Because if you've ever noticed that, like if you keep it like laying flat or in like a wire rack or something, they start to go brown like where it's touching something because so much weight is on it. So
Hmm.
suspending them really assists.
Hmm. Okay, beans and rice, and I also label. Oh yeah, she's talking about her containers. Yeah, all the pretty colors.
That is awesome. Bananas
Okay.
are a good one too. Bell peppers. How do I make them last longer? Should I
Mm,
pre-cut them ahead of time? So that is a great question. Dependent on how you want to use those bell peppers. For myself, I find that if I do cut them, I have to use them within a week, or else they do start to wilt a little quicker. But primarily, just don't wash them before you put them in your refrigerator because it'll help keep them a little longer. Because moisture does
mhm,
get inside of it and it'll help it wilt a little longer. I mean, wilt quicker, excuse me. But
mhm.
it's all your preference. Peppers don't really last that long. They last about like a week and a half, maybe at best. So trying to only buy what you need is a great source. And then if you find that they are starting, we'll actually go over some freezer tips for peppers as well. But if you find that they're starting to go bad a little quicker, try to use them as a replacement as chips. Trying to find a recipe that can incorporate them, all the many tricks that we've talked about previously, but I believe there will be a slide that goes over peppers specifically.
Hmm. Okay. So we got to look forward to that one. She's not going to tell us all the secrets yet.
Yes. And I'm going to try and touch on a lot of those different fruits and vegetables, or at least the different kinds of vegetables that are out there. And we
Mhm,
definitely will go over different freezing steps as well, because some of them are different. So
mm.
that part of the lesson is always pretty cool to me as well.
Yeah, it's like there's just some things that just do not do well frozen, and I think I know one of them is apples. Like I think of
Mhm.
it's just total mush.
I
Yeah.
actually love my apples cold, so my apples go immediately in the refrigerator after I buy
Mhm.
them, and I find that it actually holds them up a little better. But apple season's not going as well as planned this year. I've
Mm.
been talking to a few different farmers. they're having many difficulties between the drought, the little mini drought that we had this summer, between the
Mm.
lantern flies. There's many different factors that are involved with the apples just not being produced to high quality as expected. But they're hoping that next year there'll be a different turnaround. But while we're still on our conversations, thank you all for taking the time to answer our little icebreakers. I do have a bit more questions just to get everyone's knowledge and seeing what everyone likes to do. We all have different ways, we all have different methods of doing things. But what are some of your favorite leafy greens that you can either get at the farmer's market or at the grocery store? What things do you look for to choose the freshest greens and herbs? And how do you normally store those greens at home?
Well, I know my favorite leafy greens is definitely spinach.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite as well. I love it.
Um, yeah, spinach is my fave.
I like getting, I'm very peculiar, but I love my collards from a good
Hmm.
farmer's market. Those are my favorite, but I have to be prepared to make those collards like immediately after, or else collards are going to sit in my refrigerator for a while.
Hmm. You know what I always love? I also love too Swiss chard. I
Yes.
am obsessed with Swiss chard.
I just had a Swiss chard pizza. It was delicious. So it was sausage, Swiss chard, and was it sweet potato? Oh, it was and squash.
Oh,
It was butternut
that
squash. It
sounds
was
really
a
good.
very
Oh,
delicious pizza.
I love butternut squash.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not like you know what? Like I think my grandmother was like always bent on having a fresh vegetable with like with dinner it had to be.
Mhm.
So I'm like I think I was like the exception to the rule because I definitely loved Brussels sprouts as a kid. Like I
Mhm.
would eat I remember one time getting in trouble for eating the whole pot of Brussels sprouts before
Which would
dinner, like
never happen.
just running in and picking and running away, running in, picking, and I would go in the back and peel every layer off and just, yeah,
Oh.
weirdo. Okay, so Cardona Aguilera said, spinach is by far my favorite. I look the greenest. She looks for the greenest and not dying on the ends. I don't know how to. Oh, okay. She says she's not sure of how to store it.
That's no problem. We will definitely be going over our leafy greens. I see
And
Gabrielle likes kale
mhm,
and spinach. That's awesome. But
mhm,
that is a great method and tool to use, Cardona, to look for not like some rotting that's found at the end. You want it to be fresh, like it
mhm,
looks like it was just picked or just cut
mhm,
off. That is the best. I always recommend smelling that fruit or vegetable or that green as well. Just to see if it
mhm.
actually has like that aroma, because I find if it's lacking aroma, it might lack flavor as well.
Mm, true. Never thought about that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Kale and spinach. I love kale. I love kale in my smoothies. That's one I definitely almost immediately always I always store in the freezer as well. I prefer my kale in my smoothies. I'll make a salad with kale like every once in a while, but it has to be like fresh. I want it to be nice and crisp.
Yeah, I haven't ventured off into the kale world. I know that was like it was like a big, big thing, like
Not
in
that
the
long ago.
yeah, not that long ago.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, like I just never really got on board. And it's not that I don't like it or I tried it and said I just will not, but I don't know. Maybe I just look at it and I'm like, it looks so coarse. So I'm like, do you have to cook? Do you usually cook it? Like, does it have to be cooked a long time?
I've never tried cooking kale before.
Okay.
Little fun fact. I know that there's a bunch of different recipes on those websites that I always recommend, MyPlate, JSY, to look for
Hmm.
different ones. necessarily, I'm sorry, I do not know. I've never tried. I think it would just be exactly like spinach as well, where
Yeah.
you can blanch it, saute it, however you prefer.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've heard of like people like chopping it up and putting it in like soups and stuff like that, I think. But
Hmm.
beyond that, smoothies and then that's it.
Smoothies and salads are my way to
Yeah.
go too.
Gabrielle, how are you eating your kale? That's what I want to know.
While we give Gabrielle a little bit of time to
Mhm.
go ahead and type out her response on how she prefers her kale, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into our leafy greens. And they're as easy as 1, 2, 3. So, that one question that we had is, what do you look for when buying those leafy greens? We talked about not finding browning, the scent, but our best tip is to find greens with a crisp, bright green leaves with no yellow or brown on the ends or the stems, kind of like Cardona said.
Mhm.
We also always recommend to wash your greens by submerging the greens, agitating or removing the leaves, and then drying. Um,
Mhm.
there's a reminder here in my notes that participants that buy greens, they should last between 3 to 10 days in the refrigerator. So, fun little fact, they do last for about a week and a half. And do not wash your greens until and then always remember to wash your greens. There we go. Those are my notes.
Mhm. Okay.
Then we
Yeah.
have our second one, which is to store in the refrigerator. So for our lettuce and salad greens, place the dried greens in a plastic bag with a dry paper towel and seal it. So again, you could use a storage container if you prefer, other than a plastic bag, but always try to put a dry paper towel in there and turn it upside down so the towel's on the bottom, absorbing all the.
Excess moisture.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. My
Yeah.
words are not working with me today. So for
Yeah.
our greens with stems, so that could be like our green onion, chives, asparagus. What you want to do is you want to chop off the end of the stem and then wrap the end in a damp paper towel, then seal it in a plastic bag. If they don't fit entirely, try to. Give me a second. My words are coming to me finally. Try to leave a little. You can leave a little bit of the stems out of the plastic bag if you have to, but definitely that. Excuse me. Wrap them up in that wet paper towel. And
Okay.
for herbs, this is the one that I don't recommend to wash before for storing
Mhm.
them. Wash them right before use only. Do not
Okay.
rinse them. Just wrap the entire bunch in a slight paper towel, damp paper towel. Store it in a plastic bag, storage container, however you prefer. But it's as easy as that just to store them. So if you're buying that lettuce that comes in the bag already, no need to the lettuce that's like pre-cut or the lettuce
Yeah.
that's with the head, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and put that directly into the refrigerator. No need to wash them until before use. But if you're buying the single ones, go ahead, wash them, and then put them in the container, like I said. But always remind yourself to keep that paper towel at the bottom. So if you find that you're putting a paper towel on top of it, just flip it on over.
Mhm.
And then our 3 is to wash and enjoy. So place your greens in a bowl and cover with water. Shake the greens until the water is loosen of any dirt. And then gently pull out the greens and discard the water. And then repeat if necessary. So very simple to wash. I know for myself, if I have like a head of lettuce,
Mhm.
I've actually, or like any other type of lettuce that I use for a salad, I like to use my salad spinner for it. I'll take that basket, put all of my greens in there, rinse it all
Mhm.
out very well, and then give it a nice little spin to get all that moisture off of it. And then it's ready to go and eat. Now, do we hear back from Gabriella as to how she enjoys her kale?
So Gabrielle says she loves to put it in her smoothies and she likes it cooled. Hmm.
Okay. So it's not very often that we're finding a warm recipe for kale then. So let me go ahead and take a deeper dive into what I can find really quickly as we're talking. So then our next slide, Well, that reviews all of our greens, how to store and clean them properly. Our next item that we're going to discuss is how to store our frozen fruits and vegetables. So there's items that you want to immediately put into the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
There's items you want to blanch, which means to quickly boil them before freezing. Ooh, Cardona likes to eat her spinach with eggs and soup. That sounds
Oh,
delicious.
yeah.
Nice little spinach omelet in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
Yep.
Sidetracked.
Oh, oh yeah. I put spinach inside of my sandwiches too. I definitely
Mhm.
do that as well.
Highly recommend trying to have your children try spinach. It's really good for them. It's a great source of a lot of fiber and nutrients. And it has no flavor until it's cooked. It absorbs any of the flavor that you decide to cook with it. So if you're sauteing it, it's going to absorb the flavor of that salt and pepper. It really is flavorless, and I always recommend it.
Mhm.
Getting back to topic, no worries. I love interruptions. So please feel free to continue interrupting me. And then there's some fruits and vegetables that you do have to cook before freezing. So we're
Mhm.
just going to make our way through the list. You need to immediately freeze any type of berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, cherries also. But before you do, freeze your cherries, please remove your pits. You can use corn from the cob, grapes. I love frozen grapes. I like the little crunch that they have to them. I highly recommend it, giving it a try if you've never had it before. Peaches, again, remove that pit. So just chop up that peach and throw it on in. Same for plums, peeled melons, and winter squashes. Some tips include to make sure that you wash all those fruits and vegetables, and when you're freezing them, store them in an airtight container or with a lid, and then label that food or that fruit or vegetable with the date when you freeze it, because any fruit or vegetable will only last up to 6 months in your freezer. So keep that in mind.
Mhm.
Next, we have is to blanch or to quickly boil, and this includes a lot of vegetables. So, this will be for your artichokes, asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, celery, eggplant, green beans, leafy greens, okra, onion, parsnips, peppers, like we just talked about before for your peppers. Try to blanch them first, give them a little nice softness to them, and then throw them in the freezer. Sadly, they won't be good to like just defrost immediately and then be able to consume them like they would. They do have a bit of a mushier texture to them if you do just immediately put them in the freezer. So it is recommended to blanch them or saute them however you prefer. And
Mhm.
then summer squash and zucchini. Some tips when it comes to blanching are actually the steps when it comes to blanching is to boil enough water to cover all the produce in the pot. Clean the produce before placing them in the pot and chop it into even sized pieces. Place the produce in boiling water for a minute, 1 to 5 minutes, and boil until just tender. So I like to say when you're able to put a fork through it very easily, you know that it's
Mhm.
ready. Rinse under cold water until cool, and then strain in a colander and place in a sealed container. I like to say let it come down to room temperature to get rid of any moisture, because you don't want to throw that lid on there immediately and then it kind of gets like that frostbite. So to let it come down to room temperature and then place it in the freezer. And then lastly, we have those fruits and vegetables that you have to cook before freezing. So this includes our apples, beets, beans, and other legumes. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. I feel it, but it's not coming out. I think we're good. It's just going to linger. It's just going to linger. We're good. To
Okay.
continue our list, we have potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, pumpkin, radish, and winter squash. And then there's many different ways that you can cook any of those fruits or vegetables. That could be to bake or roast, saute, boil, steam, or poach. So here are our tips that I was reviewing as we were going forward. This is actually a wonderful handout that we have. It can be found on the Just Say Yes website if you guys want to take a look for it. It is a great tip and tool to keep in the kitchen. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw them out there. So we talked about it before. We had the question, but there's many benefits to freezing your own produce. This could be because you purchase the in-season produce when it's most affordable, it's freshest and tastiest. You can freeze it and save it for later. It reduces waste, like we talked about, Erica. By freezing that extra produce, you can use it at a different time. Erica, for your strawberries, go on ahead and throw them in the freezer immediately. Use them for a smoothie. Let them come to room. Let them thaw out in the fridge. Use them again. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And then frozen produce doesn't have any additives found in canned products, such as sugar or salt, so they're the healthiest for you. You could also add any seasonings that you would like to your to your frozen fruits and vegetables. For my peppers and onions, when I like to saute them, I actually like to throw in like some red pepper flakes or even some taco seasoning, because then I'll use them another night with some fajitas that I decided to make. Just a little tip and trick out there. And then just to go over those freezing methods again, put all fresh fruits and vegetables in the freezer right away. That includes your berries, grapes, and different types of pumpkin. Wash all fruits and vegetables, store in an airtight container. Make sure you label all of your products before you go ahead and put them in the freezer, because food will only keep for up to 6 months. Our second method is to blanch before freezing. And then it just has that list again on how to properly follow those steps. So boil enough water to cover all the produce in a pot. Clean the produce before adding it to the pot. Chop all that produce into even-sized pieces. Place the produce in the boiling water for 1 minute to 5 minutes, just until tender or fork tender. Then you rinse them under cool water and strain in a colander, and then place in a sealed container.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we have to cook before freezing. So our main options could include to bake or roast, saute, boil, steam, poach, etc. So
don't freeze those fresh apples. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't come out right.
Let's see. Okay, Gabrielle said she made steak with butternut squash and kale the other day. Thanks to you, Victoria. I've been incorporating what I've been learning in my diet.
I love that. That is amazing. Trying those different fruits or vegetables, having those different colors. I had a class this afternoon. It was for our children, where I always recommend to eat the rainbow. And we made an Italian pasta salad. It had whole grain pasta, bell pepper, cucumber, and carrots. And one little kid came up to me. He's like, "We're eating the rainbow," and like explained to me how all the different colors. And I was like, "We're learning. See?"
Yes.
It's so simple and easy. It's habit forming when you're able to incorporate them.
I tell you, I hear your voice in my head, like when I'm going to eat.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
Alrighty. So I actually found 2 different recipes for cooked kale. So I have one, Erica, I'm going to go ahead and put them into the chat that we have here. And then if you can go ahead and share that out. So the first one I have is eggs over kale and sweet potato grits. That could be like a good morning breakfast. That does sound amazing. And then the other one that I have for kale is a chicken vegetable soup with kale. That sounds like a good lunch or dinner too. But many different ways to incorporate those leafy greens. So just a little time for some review. This is going to be our little activity, a little quiz for you guys, pop quiz. So what do you see as some of the benefits of extending your harvest? And then can you guys name three fruits or vegetables that you would do for each method? So for the freeze, cook, or blanch.
Mm. For the freeze. Well, I know for the cook is going to be those apples.
Yes.
I learned that the hard way.
Or even what
I
is
tried it.
what was that, Erica?
I said I tried it. I tried to throw the apple in the freezer. Yeah, that just didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
comes out a little odd. Turns brown. Or even like what are some of the different methods that you're gonna try to even store them in the refrigerator as well?
Y'all out there. Well, I know the first thing is to definitely have it wrapped in those in the paper towel.
Yes. And
Washing it, wash first, of course.
mhm. And even if you don't want to use a paper towel as well, you can also use, excuse me, a kitchen towel as well, if
Mm,
that's more handy for you. Just make sure you try to wring out as much water as you can.
okay.
I know for myself, my favorite one is those stemmed vegetables. So, like our herbs that we talked about before,
Mhm.
I'm always the worst when it comes to storing those. So I need to better. I'm gonna better practice to save that little plastic bag that that I'll get them in at the store and keep them
Mhm.
in there.
Ah, see, she's
I'm learning with you
reusing. She's
guys.
recycling. We were doing that all weekend.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, and
Yes.
I'm thinking of another one with carrots or any type of root vegetable.
Mhm.
I find that if you clean them first and then put them in an airtight container filled with water, they'll also last longer too. So that could be like your carrots and celery.
Oh, carrots and celery.
Little
To
fun
me,
fact.
carrots last like forever. Like carrots,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
they
want it to
last.
last a little longer.
Yeah. So I know that I'll definitely, with the freezing, I would definitely make sure that I put my berries in the freezer.
Just clean them off.
Yeah.
And I even like to, whenever I find like myself having like extra like fruit that like I want to make sure I freeze too, I put them
Mhm.
all in one container as well. If like I'm doing
Mhm.
it in 1 week, so if I have like mango cut up in the fridge and strawberry that I need to
Mhm.
put in the freezer, I'll throw them both together and just use that as a smoothie base for another time. So it's saving a little storage instead of just putting it all into different containers.
Yeah,
And
for me,
then,
it wouldn't even make it to the smoothie realm because I would probably just pick. I'm a picker. Like I like to pick.
mhm.
So,
I gotcha. I'm going back to the bananas that you mentioned before
mm,
too. If you do realize that your bananas have started to over ripen, I
mhm.
actually like to chop up my banana and throw it in the freezer as well
Oh, that works as
as another
well.
smoothie base, or use it for a recipe too. I love making banana bread. That one's my favorite.
Mhm.
My family loves me for it as well.
Mhm. My daughter actually made an awesome pumpkin bread the other day at her friend's house, and she brought me like a sliver. I was like, "Well, now you have to make me my own pumpkin bread now."
Mhm.
It was pretty awesome.
Another thing that you could do too, now that I'm thinking about it, it goes back to my ice cream parlor days. When we
Mhm,
have bananas that are overly ripened, that we
mhm,
don't get to use for like a banana split, what we do is we'll deep freeze the banana as a whole and then dip it in some chocolate. So you can even do
mm,
that as well. Do freeze the banana and then
mhm.
scoop a little bit of Nutella on top of it as like a
Oh, I love
nice little
that.
midnight snack.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm a reformed, Nutella addict. Shout out to Liz Mary.
I'm not trying to start it back up, Erica.
Like, I would just buy the big old jugs and just a tablespoon, yeah, that turned into a really bad thing for me.
Just 1 tablespoon here and there.
Yeah, no, like, have you ever read the I know that we do everything in moderation, I get it, but,
Mhm.
like, yeah, I would overdo it.
I get that. It's just it's that little sweet tooth craving.
So, oh, look at the emojis. They're so cute. Okay, broccoli, carrots, and corn. Where's our carrot emoji? I want to see that one. They look cute like that, though. Yeah, so the broccoli, carrots, and
Mhm.
corn.
So for the broccoli, carrots, definitely trying to blanch those beforehand. Just taking a look
Mhm.
back at my notes. Like I said, that one little tip sheet, that's what I just pulled back up. It's very
Mhm.
resourceful. Making sure that you blanch that broccoli and that carrot. You could cut up the carrots into little cubes if you want, dice it
Mhm.
on up, or even just leave them whole, however you prefer. And then to immediately freeze that corn. Cut it off the knob, and then do it that way. What you can also do is another thing that I like to do, just thinking of like that Hispanic food again. I'm really in the mood for some Mexican food tonight. You
Mm.
could roast the corn also. Roast the
Yeah.
corn, throw it in the freezer, and then make like a cotillo corn.
Mhm.
And like that you're making any type of Mexican dish as a nice little side.
Nice. That sounds delish. Okay. Is there any more? Yeah, I love the benefits though of I just like I'm looking at that refrigerator and I'm like, I wonder how I can get my
I
stuff.
need a whole other refrigerator if I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Some people, yeah, do have well, I'm trying to like definitely scale down on the buying because I think I used to well, sometimes I tend to buy, still tend to buy too much
Mhm.
um, food and even cooking more food, cooking less food, I should say, because now it's two of us. My son, who was, eating a lot at the time, and now he is off at college. So, yeah,
It's like a back and
it's
forth plan.
like,
You need to learn how to just cook for a minimum, and then you have to cook for a maximum.
yeah, it's a transition that I just haven't mastered yet. Do you see
Alrighty.
who sees any other benefits? Hmm.
I know for myself, I always have ingredients to make a smoothie in my home is one of the benefits that I see from it. I don't have to go out and buy more frozen fruits and vegetables. It's just readily available for me until I run out.
Mm-hmm. I just see like a big pot of vegetable soup. Like I'm so into that.
Um,
Yeah.
Especially now for the fall and winter coming up, soups are great in season right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a lot of like tortellini soups, so that might be on my
Mm.
radar sometime soon.
Yeah. I like to like chop up like even do like a spinach, like even if it's just like a handful
Hmm.
and just lots of garlic and seasoning. It doesn't even have to have like a piece of meat in it. I just throw like a chicken bouillon in there and
Hmm.
that'll.
And it gives it enough flavor.
Mhm, mhm. And of course the beans. You can't forget your beans.
No, great source of
Yes.
fiber, lots of
Yes.
vitamins. It's a protein and a vegetable.
Mhm.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. My new thing is now snacking on chickpeas. I love doing that.
Roasted chickpeas or plain chickpeas?
It could be plain, like I would just take them right out of the can, rinse them off, pat them dry, and just pick like
Hmm. There you
for a
go.
snack.
Nice and healthy for you. Alrighty. While everyone is still thinking of some benefits, let's talk about one huge benefit
Mm,
is it's a healthier choice than going. I'm assuming Cardona, you're saying instead of going out,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
accurate.
yeah.
Yes. Going out to buy that junk or fast food, you are
Mhm,
accurate. It definitely helps us with our healthy choices. You're not wrong. Definitely keeping a lot less snacks in the house as well.
mhm.
And it also will help save money too in the end because you're not going out and having meals too because you have those options at home for yourself already.
Right.
So the next question that I have, and my final question for you guys is, what fruit or vegetable would you like to freeze this season, and what type of freezing method do you plan to use? So for myself, I had already thought about this one as I was preparing for the lesson today. I definitely want to take the opportunity to freeze a lot of squashes, some pumpkin, just because they're in season right now. They're nice and affordable. I can grab a bunch of them. I just have to cook them, and then I can throw them in the freezer. And like you said, Erica, use them for some soups, use them in some salads, however I prefer.
Yeah, I like that idea. So tell me, Victoria, like I always have a hard time cutting mine. I think that I don't buy them because I love butternut squash,
Hmm.
but I don't buy them whole. I would buy them already pre-chopped
Hmm.
because
They're
they're
difficult.
really difficult. Yes, it's like you're
Hmm.
sweating. You gotta put all this muscle into cutting it up. So do you have like a method that you use as far as like you just
My
get to chopping,
true,
huh?
yeah, my true and best method is to make sure that a great chef's knife that is sharpened,
Mm,
very, very
okay.
sharp. Again, you want to try to keep your knives as sharp as possible because you can actually injure yourself more with a dull knife. So I
Mhm.
always recommend a sharp knife. My favorite type of knife is a chef's knife. It goes right through. It does. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's difficult. It's difficult to get your knife through it that first time, and then finalizing that cut. It's
Mhm.
never easy. It always comes out a little crooked, but
Yeah,
it,
there's nothing
it
this left hand is cutting straight, no.
yeah,
It's always going
exactly. Like acorn squash is my least favorite because it's round and there's nothing I can do. It has the ridges on it. I'm like, it's rolling around all over the place. You kind of just gotta
Mhm.
like give it a good chop.
Okay, so if I'm mad or angry, I just
Yeah. Another method that you
It's
can
flash.
do is try aerating it by poking like some holes with a fork into it and
Mhm.
throwing it in the microwave to help soften it up a little bit. I do that sometimes with my spaghetti squash before I bake it.
Mhm.
It'll make it a little easier to cut through.
Mm. Alright, cool. Cordona, she says, "I wanna live, um, longer for myself and my" Yeah, he's
Freeze
gonna
those
freeze the
grapes.
grapes.
They're amazing. I love them. And there's also you can also throw the frozen grapes into an adult beverage that won't dilute it.
Mhm.
A little fun fact.
Yeah, soak it up.
I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, I kind of want to go to the grocery store and get some grapes and freeze them for a snack tomorrow.
Yeah.
With this warm weather that we've been
Yeah, it's
having
been
out of nowhere.
super yeah, it's been super warm. It's been
Hmm.
super warm,
But it's
and I
nice. I'm
love
not
it.
going to complain. I like this weather. I like going out in a t-shirt
Nope,
and not
I love it.
freezing.
Yeah, if I don't have to wear a jacket, I'm happy.
Hmm. Well, thank you all for your conversation. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. I do see that we have 5 minutes left. And if Erica, if you would like to go ahead and share that recipe video, the recipe that was chosen for today is a stuffed bell pepper. And I like this video because it shows easy ways to incorporate children into the kitchen as well. Just asking for them to do simple tasks that you can instruct them on once and they're able to do it themselves.
Okay. Alright, and you do see it uploaded, right?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Chef Carla Hall, and I'm here with Ashton. Ashton was telling me that he is trying to make healthier choices at school. And so, Ashton, what are some of the things that you like at school?
Well, I really like the veggie quesadillas and the chicken stir fry that they have at my school.
Oh, that sounds so good. So, do you cook at home?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah?
I have 4 siblings, so I have to cook for them a lot.
Oh my gosh. So, what would you say if I'm going to show you something that is healthy for you to make for yourself and your siblings?
That sounds delicious.
All right, so I'm going to show Ashton how to make a stuffed bell pepper. You can use any kind of peppers. And then one of the things that the schools use are fresh ingredients, local produce, because it's fresher and it's also cheaper. So in this recipe, we have 5 peppers, but I want to show you the secret to actually cutting the tops off the peppers. So when I take my knife, I just cut through the flesh. I don't go all the way to the seeds. So there's that little hat. Actually, I might have you do this. Stick your thumb in there and just lift the entire thing up open. Look at that. See, all of your seeds are right here. So then what we're going to do is just pick out these ribs like that, and it's ready. See? Yep. Easy peasy. And then what I'm going to do here is actually cut out the seeds, because we're going to need this lid to put on our pepper. So we're going to do that to all of them. Ashton and I working together, we got all of the peppers done in little to no time. So now they're all ready for us. The next step we're going to do is actually mix our filling. And here I have a pound of lean ground beef. And then what we're going to do is take 3/4 cup of brown rice. And will you mix this for me? So that goes in there. It is uncooked brown rice right into the bowl. And then we have our half a can of low sodium tomatoes diced. That goes into the bowl. So mix that up really well. And now here comes the fun part. All of the seasonings and the things that make this dish really delicious. So we have 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. That goes in. That's going to add a little bit of acid. Now, Ashton, this may surprise you, but I want you to smell this. Do you know that?
Allspice.
Yes. So you have a 1/4 teaspoon of the allspice. And then smell this.
Cinnamon.
Exactly.
Yeah, I bake a lot, so I use that a lot.
So we have a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. This is going to really make this dish feel like you are traveling. And then a little bit of black pepper. So that goes in there. So mix all of that up. It's already starting to look really good. All right, so let's start filling the peppers. Perfect. We fill them right to the top, and it's just enough for our 5 peppers. And then that goes into the pot. Now what I'm going to have you do is pour some water in. We want about 1 inch of water. This is going to help our peppers cook. So we're going to put the lid on these, and then we're going to take it to the stove, cook it on medium for 30 to 40 minutes. Ashton, it's time.
Ooh, delicious.
That's the thing about cooking together. You have to wait all those smells. All right, so the moment of truth. Okay, so let's taste our handiwork. Right? You taste that allspice?
Cinnamon.
Yes.
We made something delicious.
Delicious and healthy. All right, if you want to do more of this, like we've just done, check out USDA's What's the King website. And I hope you're inspired. I hope you're also inspired to go to the farmer's market and to eat seasonally.
So cute little video incorporating children in the kitchen, showing them different techniques. If you can, try to get your kids into the kitchen with you. It's a great resource and a great tool to have. And they're also more willing to try the recipe that you're making together if they're involved. So for peppers, for example, if your child doesn't like peppers, show them this recipe. Show them that it's a great tool to have, not only as your little dish, but it also adds so much flavor to the recipe. So I hope you guys are able to give this a try. And if Erica, if we could go right back up to that last slide where I left off. Alrighty. So as always, thank you all so much for your participation, for your support in our classes. Thank you all of those who have shared the link with their friends on their personal pages. It's greatly appreciated to be able to get out and share this information with everyone all across New Jersey, as well as all across the United States. For more information and more resources, you can always visit choosemyplate.gov. That is where I found the wonderful recipe for today. So we always recommend and always wish for you guys to stay safe and stay healthy. Again, Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them out there now. And Erica, this would be a great time to share out that survey link as well. I know I mentioned it earlier. I'm sorry, I don't have a QR code quite yet for our survey, but please take the opportunity to complete that survey. Erica will throw those out there in the chat for you to be able to have access to it. It's greatly appreciated if you could to complete it. It helps us at CFB&J as well as SNAP-Ed provide more resources to a community near you.
Well, thank you, Victoria, for engaging us for 13 weeks. And we're going to be shaking you down again.
Of course.
In probably a couple of months again to see what more we can get out of you. There's so many layers of food and nutrition education that there is to learn about. So I know that I'm definitely going to be incorporating, utilizing, storing my fresh vegetables, wrapping them in a paper towel, take the extra step and the extra time to care so so that it'll last a little bit longer and so that I don't waste my money, right?
Yes.
And thank you, everybody that participated tonight and and for anybody that is listening after we air live, thank you so much for listening as well. And please go ahead and just hit those links and take those surveys so that we can hear from you. We always walk around and say your voice matters or our voice matters. This is your opportunity to use your voice. Hi, Noble. You're not late. We're about to log off. You can just start it from the beginning. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning into Parents Engaging Parents, Beloved Community Check-In. Of course, we are always going to ask you and encourage you to hit check us out on pepnj.org. Hit the donate button. This is going to be, this is the winter season. We're going to be definitely looking to purchase some coats, and we cannot do that without your donations. So definitely, if you do want to have an event at your church or community center, please just definitely hit that donate button. Contact myself. I am the contact. If you just reach out by email and we can set up something. 9 times out of 10, I'll be there in the flesh. So everybody have a great night. Victoria, girl, I'll go see you soon.
Yes, always.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Always a pleasure. We'll talk soon.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.